My name is Claire Weller, and if you'd asked my family, they would have told you I was the sweet one who could never quite make it. I stood in the courthouse hallway, watching my sister's smile settle into a look of victory, and 15 years of being dismissed sharpened into one clear thought. Lena was 7 years older than me, brilliant, polished, and convinced she belonged at the center of every room. She had breezed through law school, built a successful career, and made partner before she turned 40. At family dinners, my parents recited her achievements like sacred scripture. As for me, I had been filed away as the cautionary tale. The daughter who dropped out after 1 year of college. My mother called it sensitivity. My father called it uselessness. Lena simply smiled and said, "Not everyone can be a lawyer. The world needs assistance too." The funny thing was, they never bothered to ask what I actually did. So I let them believe their version of my life. After I dropped out, I transferred schools, took night classes, sat for the bar exam in another state, and passed on my first attempt. I built a career in legal ethics at the Attorney General's office, investigating attorney misconduct, fraud, and the corruption hiding behind polished suits. My job taught me to recognize patterns and follow the truth wherever it led. 3 years ago, Lena's name appeared in a complaint. One accusation of padded billable hours was dismissed. Then another surfaced. Then a third, complete with emails and a recorded phone call that made my blood run cold. A formal investigation was opened and quietly remained active. 6 months ago, our grandmother passed away. Her will divided her estate equally between the two of us. Lena decided equal wasn't enough. 2 weeks after the funeral, she filed a petition to rewrite the will, claiming I was incapable of managing money and that she should control my inheritance as trustee. The hearing was set for Tuesday morning. Lena thought I'd back down. Instead, I hired my own attorney and brought a file of evidence she never imagined existed. Court began under the bright lights of the courtroom. Judge Maren Caldwell reviewed the pleadings while Lena sat confidently beside her legal team. Their first witness was a cousin who claimed Grandma had been mentally confused during Christmas. My attorney, Adrian Cho, dismantled the story in less than 5 minutes by proving Grandma had been home sick with the flu that day. Next came a neighbor who described my weekly visits as suspicious and manipulative. Adrian simply asked how long I'd been visiting. The answer? Every week for the past 8 years, long before the will had ever been written. During lunch, Lena cornered me in the hallway. "Settle this," she whispered. "I'll manage the trust, and you'll get an allowance. It's what's best." I looked at her calmly. "Like what's best for your clients?" Her eyes narrowed. "You don't understand real law, Claire. You never have." Adrian appeared beside me. "We're due back in court." The afternoon session brought their financial expert, hired to paint me as financially irresponsible. Adrian let him finish his testimony before asking a single question. "Has Miss Weller ever missed a payment, defaulted on a debt, or faced any negative financial action?" The expert hesitated. "No." Judge Caldwell looked directly at Lena's table. "Is this really your case?" Desperate, Lena's legal team introduced an affidavit from another cousin, claiming I'd manipulated Grandma by telling her Lena didn't care about her. It was a complete fabrication. Adrian stood. "Your Honor, the defense calls Claire Weller." I took the oath and answered every question truthfully. I talked about my weekly visits, the books we read together, and the afternoons we spent gardening. I never pressured Grandma about her will or her money. Then Adrian asked the question no one in the courtroom expected. "Miss Weller, what is your occupation?" Silence filled the room. "I'm a senior ethics investigator for the Virginia Attorney General's office," I said, "and I serve on the State Bar Disciplinary Board." Lena's face lost all its color. Judge Caldwell leaned forward. "So, you are an attorney?" "Yes, Your Honor." The judge nodded. "Continue." Adrian's voice remained calm. "In her professional capacity, has my client encountered Miss Lena Weller in ethics matters?" Lena jumped to her feet. Objection. Irrelevant. Judge Caldwell didn't even blink. Answer the question. Yes, I said. Lena Weller is currently the subject of an open investigation involving billing inflation and conflicts of interest. Adrian handed the judge a document. A limited disclosure authorization signed by the chair of the disciplinary board this morning. My client's competence has been challenged in these proceedings. Judge Caldwell read the paper carefully before looking at Lena. You are asking this court to place your sister's inheritance under your control while you are under ethics investigation yourself. And you submitted an affidavit that appears to be fabricated. I can address the affidavit, I said. I placed my phone on the table. For the last 2 years, with my grandmother's full consent, I recorded our visits and organized them by date. There is not a single conversation in which I turned her against Lena or discussed her inheritance beyond one simple statement. What statement? The judge asked. She told me she intended to split everything equally. Adrian handed over the recordings index. Judge Caldwell reviewed several clips. Finally, she looked up. This case is dismissed with prejudice. The defendant is awarded fees and costs. Furthermore, this affidavit will be referred to the state bar for investigation. The courtroom emptied. My parents stood awkwardly nearby, their faces full of regret. Lena reached for my sleeve. Claire. I didn't know. You never asked, I replied. And you didn't lose because I surprised you. You lost because you lied. Outside, the afternoon sun felt warm on my face. Adrian smiled and gently touched my elbow, and for the first time since Grandma died, I felt a sense of peace settle over me. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Tara Lynn. Formal charges will be filed tomorrow. The process has been expedited after today's hearing. I looked up at the sky and smiled. For the first time in my life, Lena's shadow wasn't hanging over me. It was behind me.